What is going on, guys? It is Joe back again talking about the Kansas State Wildcats, and this is usually the part where I say we're focusing on one specific sport. Today we're combining both into one action-packed video, and I'm excited to talk both basketball and football with you guys, give my thoughts on Kansas State. This was a big weekend for us. Obviously, you don't get the job done on the basketball court, but there's still great things to take away that I will talk about here in this video. We'll probably start with basketball, I think, because it's fresh on the mind right now, and then we'll jump into football. And towards the end of the video, if you want to fast forward, if you're more of a football guy, I get it. If you're more of a basketball guy, you want to jump up after, totally welcome to. Not going to hold it to you, but let me tell you this. Before we do get into things, we have a sponsor on today's video, and it is the great people over at Manhattan Brewing Company. They make incredible beer. They have incredible names. Also have beers that support Wildcat NIL. Directly support Wildcat NIL by drinking beer. You're helping out. That's incredible. I don't know how many great things you've had done in your life because of drinking beer. This is one you can do, my friend. I promise you that. It's incredible. Go over to Manhattan Brewing Company. Check it out. Selfishly, I've said it before, Tang Party slaps, smacks. I mean, any type of adjective you want to say that describes how good this stuff is, it's like drinking the nectar of the gods. And the gods are all drinking Tang Party. That's what this stuff is. Go ahead and try it, as well as enjoy some of their specialty themes nights, different things going on around the community. They do a good job of just giving people in Manhattan something to do, and that is always a great thing to have. Not like a backhanded compliment, like there's not enough to do in Manhattan, but it is an awesome stop on game day, regular day, anytime you're looking for something to do, go check them out. It is a great day to be a Wildcat and a great day to drink Manhattan Brewing Company beer. Let's get into some basketball here while it's fresh off the dome. I mean, it's hot and ready off the press. That's pretty lame for me to say, so I apologize. It sounded kind of corny, but we're going to leave it in. We're going to roll with it because that's how, that's my America right there, is saying stupid stuff and holding yourself accountable. Okay, here we go. So, we're going to talk Kansas State basketball. Obviously, you don't get the job done against Miami. It is what it is. Sure, if you want me to feel negative about it, I'm not gonna feel negative about this. Dude, look at what happened in the second half of that game. You lose by 8 points to the number 12 team in the country while one guy's going off for just about 30 points. Shout out to Nigel Pack real quick. Heck of a player. Not going to trash talk the dude whatsoever. Good dude, represented the university well, went to Miami, got his. I get it, you're good. Nigel, we appreciate it. What's incredible to watch is how, this isn't your peak K-State team. We are not to the point where we can be because we're not playing, sound basketball in the eyes of Coach Tang, in the eyes of any of the coaching staff. We're not at the point where it's peak physical K-State basketball yet because it's November. It is early. It is November. We don't have all our guys yet. We're missing Quez Glover. You're missing Day-Day Ames in this game specifically, and Naquan Tomlin, who I should mention just recently applied for diversion and received diversion. So if you didn't see that, go ahead and read. I believe Kellis Robinette had a good story about it, so go check Kellis' stuff out. And I know it's not an end-all, be-all. I know it's no guarantee that Tomlin comes back, but getting diversion is a huge step to doing the right things. Getting back through the legal process, that's a big thing. So I want to get that out of the way now. But let's look at the stat sheet here, because I know people are going to be frustrated that Cam Carter started off so slow in the first half. The dude balled out, man. Listen to this end box score. He had 28 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds from Cam Carter. What do you want? I mean, that matches a guy like Nigel Pack. Obviously, Kansas State, if this game goes another 10 minutes, K-State wins the basketball game. And I know that's kind of stupid to say. It's kind of like a cop-out to be like, well, hey, if we had more time, blah, blah, blah. The upside that Kansas State played with in this basketball game, that is the good thing you want to see. You out-rebound the number 12 team in the country with some big dudes in a low block that are really skilled rebounders. I mean, that's kind of what Miami's bread and butter was last year in the NCAA Final Four run. I can't remember if it was a Final Four or an Elite Eight, so I apologize. I think it was a Final Four, but Miami goes out there, plays, out-rebounds everybody, and they have good guard play. That's kind of the thing that goes with Miami. Obviously, last year it was Isaiah Wong and Nigel Pack. This year it's more on Nigel Pack. There's a couple other guys in there that also deserve some love, but out-rebound that team, a skilled team. And I know you give up 28 to Nigel Pack. Here's the thing. Nigel Pack is fading away from 40 feet out and splashing it. I mean, you're not going to do much about that, so there's that. But look at the good things about this game. Obviously, you shoot 4 of 28 from 3. That's 14%. That's not good. But you lost by 8 while shooting 14% on 28 threes. That's how this team did. You still fought. You out-rebound Miami by 7. You had 38 total rebounds to their 31. 14 of those offensive, which is crazy to see how many offensive rebounds you're getting. There's some good things to talk about here. Obviously, you have 13 turnovers, but when you have 8 in the first half, 5 in the second half, that's a lot better. So you're getting better in that department. Obviously, you want to limit that as much as you can, but you can't really feel super bad. And I want to read a tweet from Cole Manbeck because I agree with everything he's saying in this, and I'm going to kind of expand on it as well. Some really encouraging things in that second half in the Bahamas overall. Cam was brilliant down the stretch. Arthur Klieman goes 18 and 12 today, averaged 18 points per game and 9.5 rebounds in 2 games in the Bahamas. That's big. Michaela Bridge brought energy. K-State goes 29 of 39 on twos today, 74% from the field. And he just couldn't get anything to fall from 3. That's that. I mean, yeah, that's right. He's not wrong about any of that. One of the things in the end, like, obviously the first half defense against Nigel Pack was not great. Coach Tang falls on that knife, talks about it, and says, you know what, that's on me. We tried to let him get the ball and it got him going. We should have denied entry, which you saw in the second half where, like, Tyler Perry's going to get flack from fans because you average 22, you don't put up 22. The casual fan will see that and say, that's an awful day, you didn't do good, whatever. I'm not saying it was his best day by any means, but the dude was putting in so much work defensively in that second half following Nigel Pack, like, accepted the challenge of, okay, I need to go and limit this dude. You give him, you keep him to 8 points in the second half. I mean, I know that he missed a couple of shots, but he wasn't doing that in the first half. And you switch the defense, you flip the scheme up, and you get 10, 8, and 5 from Tyler Perry. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. That's a good day. Arthur Klieman, Manbeck talked about it. 18 points, 12 rebounds in this game, 2 assists. David Gasson gets you 10 and 3. How about Michaela Bridge, guys? Because I'm all in on Buddy Rich, don't get me wrong, but I've been apprehensive because I'm not a coach. I don't know why he's not playing certain cases where, like, there's fans that will comment occasionally and be like, Michaela Bridge needs to be in the game. And I'm like, well, I don't know how he is from the free throw line, or I don't know how he is defensively, or I don't know how he is, XYZ reason as to why he's not in the game as a true freshman. There's also that he is a true freshman, but, like, Michaela Bridge was the difference maker in this game. His physicality inside led to a lot of second chance points in this game. Obviously just had the 3 and 4, 3 points, 4 rebounds, but still got to the free throw line a couple times. He was a better free throw shooter than I anticipated. Not in, like, a negative way, but sometimes the bigger dude, low block players sometimes aren't as great as shooters from the free throw line. Michaela Bridge looks like a good dude for that. And I think here's the thing about him. Even in a game where Miami had dudes in the low block that could jump out the gym and do whatever they wanted, Michaela Bridge was by far the most athletic player on the court. And that's crazy to me. Like, that dude is so physically gifted. And he's also a skilled basketball player. Like, that rebound he had where he just absolutely, one hand spears it in the air with 2 dudes on top of him. Clasps it. Like the dude is going to develop into such a good basketball player as he continues to take this, these athletic, godly gifts that the dude was given. Like, this is otherworldly. The physical specimens this dude is, like, you don't see that in the game of basketball all the time. You see, like Zion Williamson is a good comparison. Obviously, Zion now has kind of put on some weight and he gets flack, but the dude was capable of doing anything he wanted on the basketball court. And there were people that have elite genes looking at this guy saying, I'm not like that. I'm not cut from that cloth. Michaela Bridge falls into that category of dudes that, like, the rest of the college basketball world is going to look at and say, dude, how are we playing the same sport right now? This doesn't make any sense. That's what Michaela Bridge is. And I think the more he'll play, like, you were down 20 here. This is a good time to get experience, but he was part of the thing that sparked the team getting back into that comeback. And I'm excited to see how he works in because, I don't know whether it was a foul thing because there wasn't anybody really in foul trouble at his position that was like, oh, I got to keep him out, got to worry about him. Michaela Bridge showed some good things this week. That was good. Offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding, also defensively. Like, I forget the kid's name off the top of my head, so I apologize, not Michaela Bridge, but the dude from Miami, it's like Omier or something like that. I forget what it is off the top of my head. Kid's really good, athletic, super good. The broadcast crew was kind of going, it's funny that they put a true freshman on him. Like, why are they having a true freshman defend him? And then the other guy goes, you know what? Look at this. Michaela Bridge, 6'7", he's the same size, height-wise, as this kid, 240 as a true freshman. And this is like limited amount of time in the gym, not limited in the sense that he hasn't been putting in work, but just the fact that he's only been in college basketball for the past few months. Like, this is a dude who's going to blossom into one of the best players in the country. I fully believe that because even from the moment, like, spearing that rebound, going up, quick and one, like, he's got elite vision as to where the ball is going to be off the glass, and that is a great thing to have. There's some great rebounders out there that have that. Michaela Bridge has that, plus the ability to jump 58 inches standing. Like, the dude is a really gifted athlete. And I think, like, that's not enough in college basketball all the time where it's just like, oh, I'm better than you because I'm more athletic. This dude is a guy that has the drive and the willpower to develop into an absolute two-way scorer that is just, who wants to guard that dude? Every time he's in the lane, you're going to get fouled. And that's what you want because he's a capable free throw shooter. He's a capable player. Like, I loved the experience he got in this game, and that is not going to be lost on him by any means, as well as the rest of the team. Like, obviously, RJ Jones didn't have a great day today, but still had some good minutes out there, still had some good things to take away. Like, there's good things and bad things you can take away, but I can't find it in me to be negative from this. I mean, yeah, you shoot 4 of 28 from 3. You still got the game within 8 points, shooting 14% from 3, and you shot almost 33s. It's not because the team's bad, okay? That's not the thing. That's just not it. It's not like they're tough shooting the basketball. That's not how this goes, man. Sometimes you don't hit buckets. I fully believe that. And then you see a guy like Cam Carter step up and go to the cup hard, do what he can. He starts putting the ball in the basket. I want to give a quick shout out to Cam because, like, the amount of tweets I've seen from KU fans, and I don't mean to just single out KU fans, but that's kind of the place I'm seeing it. Or, like, I can't say Houston fans because you don't really see them very much. Shout out Houston. I apologize for just dunking on you like that. But you see some KU fans being like, well, yeah, Cam Carter's playing well, but that's not going to continue against, like, good teams. You just dropped almost 30 against the 12th ranked team in the country. If you don't think it's continuing after seeing that, like the dude just straight up jelly famming on top of 4 dudes, trying to go for the yam on top of one of Miami's best players, like Cam Carter is a dude. And I know that people some people have checked out on the whole dudes thing. Cam Carter is the quintessential definition of that. Like, this is a dude who is annoying to play on defense. Like, I don't want that dude anywhere near me if I have the basketball in my hand. I don't want him because he's faster than me side to side. I can't get him to move or jump on a shot fake. Like, Cam Carter is a pest on both sides of the basketball. And then he's also, like, he's one of the most skilled not game managers, but he sees the floor in a really elite way. And I think part of that is the vision of a Marquise Noel kind of being like, hey, Cam, look what you can do when the game opens up for you. That's what Keith did really well. You start shooting threes and it starts cashing the back of the net. People start closing out on you. Then you have a David Gasson here. You have a Jerome Colbert here, an Arthur Kaluma here under the basket. Like, Cam's game is going to continue to open up, but you're averaging 18 points a game through five games. That's crazy. Cam is absolutely every bit of that dude, and I think that's going to continue this season. I would not be surprised to see him finish averaging somewhere comparable to a Marquise Noel or comparable to Keontae Johnson. I think you're going to see something, impressive out of Cam Carter. But that being said, there's other things to take away. I mean, yeah, it stinks you lose, but this is an NCAA tournament team. Absolutely, this is a team with legit Final Four, legit national title, aspirations. That's a good day. When you see the fight, like, that second half, K-State wins. They outscore Miami by 11 points. They out-rebound them by 7 points. They're the better team in the second half. That's a big deal. So there's good things to take away. I want to give a shout-out to the coaches for just putting the team together. I mean, that's got to be a great bonding experience as well, going to the Bahamas. I've freaking wanted to be there. So, Coach, if there's a coach watching right now, I'll take a flight next time. If somebody just wants to be like, hey, man, you want to just go and sit there? I'd say yes. I'd do it right now. I'll go right now. Just let me know. So that is way too egotistical for me to ask, so I'm not actually serious about that. But it would have been an awesome trip. So that is on the bucket list for the future of my life. But let's talk about football a little bit now. I've kind of pivoted off of basketball. Let me get into the football game. Last night we were out drinking, so that's why I didn't get the video out yesterday. So that's why it wasn't a Sunday morning thing. It'll be Monday. We were out hanging out and wasn't drinking during the game at all, but then I kind of had some, my family came into town and we were like, well, let's go do something, blah, blah, went out. And by the time I got home, it was too late to record a video, so I shelved it. But that's a big win. That is a signature win. And I know there's K-State fans that'll be like, don't acknowledge KU, don't give them anything. I'm not going to be the guy that's like, trying to rave about the team, but that is a completely different program. Absolutely. 3 years ago, that team is practically non-existent. In the past, Kansas would pray for 1 or 2 wins. Now they're a legit, 6, 7, 8 win team each season. That's what they're going to be. I mean, obviously, they've had some issues with the quarterback position, and that's going to probably continue. I don't know what the case is there, just health-wise, getting the right guys on the field, but you got to at least acknowledge them and say that is a good football team. Here's the other thing. Do you know how hard it is to do anything 15 years in a row? I have trouble doing something 15 days in a row, let alone 15 years. You beat Kansas for 15 straight years. Not one slip-up, not one 5-turnover game or 4-turnover game where you're like, well, nothing's going our way. We'll muff a punt. We'll do this. Not one of those in 15 years. That is a huge win. Will Howard absolutely deserves credit for that. And let me tell you this, guys. I don't know what it is. On that first kick, the second the ball's kicked off, because somehow teams will defer and put the football into our hands, which makes no sense when you look at the numbers. Like, K-State is driving down the field and scoring at a massively high rate. I would argue it's probably among the top 5 in the nation as to what the first quarter, first drive touchdown percentage has been for K-State. They're finding the end zone like 7 times out of 10 or whatever it's been. We've played 12 weeks now. I bet 9 times out of 12 we've capitalized on the first possession. That's happening consistently. I get so nervous because I'm like, man, they've looked good in the past. What happens today? K-State is a great team. And I'll say this, guys. I don't want to talk about the tiebreaker rules because I don't know the tiebreaker rules. I thought I did, and then the Big 12's like, haha, no, you don't. You suck. So that happened. There's a direct quote from the Big 12. That happened, and it kind of changed the mentality a little bit because you don't know if you're going to get the opportunity to go to Texas. You would assume Oklahoma State and Oklahoma went out. Also, it's the Big 12, so you really never know. I just don't know if we're going to get that shot, but I tell you what, a 9-3 season or whatever it's going to be, that's a hell of a season. So I know that things are going to change and people will make the argument of, well, the Big 12 did this, and well, yeah, they did. They did 100% change the rules. It wasn't a clarification, but I think you have to be happy with this season. And I'm not trying to tell you how to feel. Like, there's people out there that legit thought we were not going to lose a single game. I bought into the hype for a little bit, but also understand how hard it is to win football games. I think that it's important to understand how good this can be for the future of the program. Winning for 15 straight years in the state of Kansas, like, Kansas is going to recruit better players as they continue to elevate. The thing about the state of Kansas, K-State has had an absolute, like they've bottlenecked the population because we bring in all the best talent from the state of Kansas. Obviously, some of it will go out of state. You'll get like a Dylan Edwards to Colorado/Notre Dame, whatever's happening there. But keeping a guy like Avery Johnson in the state of Kansas is huge. That's going to keep happening. You're going to see that happen more and more. But when it's not such a cut and dry, like Iowa State, which team are you going to play for? I don't know. Whichever. Am I closer to Ames or Iowa City? Where did I grow up at? Who did I grow up a fan of? With the state of Kansas, because one team has been so dominant for so long over the other, all those athletes are going to start trickling into K-State. Like, it's good for the state that Kansas is better. I think that the more athletes can take the field as Kansas players, but the better. But I think the biggest thing is you solidified, like, hey, we are still the premier team in the state of Kansas. Not that people are questioning that, but recruits have that mind of like, well, hey, there's a lot of great things here, I'm going there. Hey, a lot of great things, I'm going there. It's such a quick decision, I think, sometimes in college athletics. And reminding people just who you are when you need to is huge. So that's what I took away from this game. Obviously, I can go specifically and talk about Will Howard's performance or talk about the defensive performance or whatever the case is. But I don't know, man. I just want to kind of bask in it because I've heard just a lot of talk this week about how we're awful. Not from K-State fans, but just the K-State hate week was crazy. You had legit journalism people being stupid. You had legit fans being stupid. It was just kind of a whole, that is college football, and that's what makes it beautiful. But it's a good win based off of everything that led up to that game, based off if K-State loses this game, drastically different season. Drastically different season. I don't know if you guys feel that same way. I do for sure. I will also say I never gave up on this team. All I've given up on is using my phone during games because I cannot deal with some of the immediate reactions of like, hey, let's fire Chris Klieman. Let's send Will Howard to USC. Let's get all this stuff. Like, just can't. I can't. I'm locking the phone until I know for a fact what we have to talk about because especially getting on here and doing these post-game videos, if I'm jumping in on some conversation about how Joe Klanderman's the worst person of all time, and then you go out there and you don't allow a single touchdown on the last 4 drives, you have punt, interception, punt, fumble, or whatever it works out to be, I'd look stupid. That's what it is. So I'm not trying to set myself up to look stupid. That's kind of the end goal of my social media use during the game. But guys, we got another big week. We got Farmageddon coming up. It'll be fun. I think K-State's favored by about 10 points right now. I think it's a 9-point spread. We'll have to see how it goes, but I'm excited to talk to you about it soon. If you guys feel like it, and please don't feel like you have to, I have links to donate in the description. Don't feel like you have to spend money. If you want to share the video, if you want to like the video, comment, whatever you want to do, I appreciate it. It all helps me, so thank you guys for everything you do. We'll talk about some more Kansas State sports this week. We've got a K-State basketball game coming up, and then obviously on the weekend we've got the last regular season game with Iowa State. We'll have some good stuff to talk about here soon. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And I apologize. If you hated the combo, I apologize. If you loved it, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on the format of splitting them up or not. So I appreciate it either way, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll talk soon. Go Cats.